Hey there, Fox River. Happy Advent. My name is Erika. I'm excited to be here with you today. We want to talk about the Bible and some of the stories that they have. There's some super action-packed stories in there. There's some confusing ones, some straightforward ones, some weird ones. Have you heard about Elijah and the bears? That's a weird story. But if it's weird, it's important. Go look it up. You might enjoy it. But the Bible it doesn't sugarcoat things. It shows us all the messy parts about the heroes of the Bible. Their immorality, their sin, how they completely screw up, and how they even doubt God. Has there ever been someone in your life that you kind of hold up on a pedestal that you respect, that you trust, you look up to them, and then they screw up too? They've been found out, they fall, and you're sitting there thinking, but how is that possible? They were supposed to be above it all. And you're just disappointed. We see our heroes fall also. Today we're looking at the story of Jacob, Leah, and Rachel. Jacob was the son of Isaac, the grandson of Abraham. He was a miracle birth, born out of a formerly barren woman. Jacob received God's promise of a blessing on his life, that he would be part of the lineage of how God would bless the whole world. He's a biblical hero, but he was a moral wreck. He tricked his brother. He stole from his father. His name does mean cheater, after all. He messed things up so bad with his family that he actually had to flee for his life. He falls in love with Rachel, but he has to marry her older sister Leah before he can marry her. And he mistreats Leah, and Scripture tells us he hates her, all while he insists on marrying his sister as well. It's not a great look for Jacob, but these are the people that God uses to do his work. God chose Jacob. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't care about his sin. The fact that we see his sin so clearly in Scripture points to the fact that God isn't minimizing it, he's pointing it out. God is showing us that Jacob being chosen is a gift from himself. That Jacob's brokenness and his shortcomings is that he is a recipient of God's grace. The Bible isn't telling us these stories like Adam and Eve and Jacob and Rachel for us to get wrapped up in the characters and to view them like heroes, but for us to get to know God better, to see him in the story, who he is and what he does, for us to anticipate the one actual hero that will come to save us from all of our own brokenness, and that he, Jesus, was broken for us. Jacob was chosen by God to be used in this story, but so was Leah. She was mistreated and unloved. She was hurt and she was wronged, but she was used by God to continue the lineage that would bring the blessing of Jesus to the world. When Jesus came into this world at Christmas, it was for both people who did wrong, like Jacob, and those who were wronged, like Leah. In other words, he came into the world to be broken for people just like you and like me. So as you continue to reflect and prepare your heart for Advent, as you reflect on this story, I encourage you to share with us, as well as someone else in your life, a time or a situation where maybe you just couldn't see what God was up to. Tell them, how does the story of Leah make these things seem a bit differently? My prayers of blessing to you this Advent season. I pray that your heart is prepared and ready for the hope that comes with Jesus.